And aloha, and welcome back to Mystimon Saga, a world like no other, where people live alongside mystical creatures and where magic comes alive, under siege by forces beyond and within. This is Mystimon Saga Hidden Archives, and give me world like no other, where 1 second. Live alongside mystical creatures and stupid. Had to close those browser tabs. This is Mystimon Saga Hidden Archives, a Pathfinder 2e actual play, where our investigators battle an evil cult and investigate the paranormal and high strangeness all over the world. I am your host, GM Seth. I also go by Seth R. Mitchell, and I am today once again joined by our players. Take it away. Is that everyone? Okay. Okay. So you might notice that I have a bit of a slideshow going on the screen. And that is because this slideshow is a slideshow of my cat. I'm getting a little personal today because because this is my cat. You might have seen her in the background once in a while in our streams in the past. She was named Carii. Her name is Carii, and for the last several months, she's been having some issues, and she had I took her to the vet, and she was diagnosed with kidney disease, and we think she also had a problem with her heart. And a couple of days ago, I found her on my old chair. Sorry, I have a kitten climbing around. I found her on my old chair, and she had passed away quietly during the night. She was a wonderful cat. So I want to start off with a Naekos scene, but this is going to be a little different because it's actually not really a Naeko, it's a Nyoko. And Nyoko is the evoed form of Naeko, where it has gained a pair of wings. And this is Cairine's Naekos. Uh, Cairine's Naekos hasn't really been present in the show before, but she's always been there in the background. She's basically always been present whenever Cairine was there. um, Whenever Cairine was there, she was there. I'm sorry. And we zoom in as Cairine's Naekos is flying high above the streets of Evergreen City. She's looking out over the city. And taking in all the sights and the sounds and the smells. It is a bright early morning, and she decides it's time to head back and meet back up with her lady. Her lady named Cairine. And as she's flying down and trying to make a trajectory so she could meet back up with her lady, she comes upon a little coffee shop somewhere in the city where she spies a fish guy, really peculiar fish guy, who seems to be chomping on some coffee beans. Chomping on some coffee beans. And she looks at that and she's like, that's weird. Why would you be doing that? And she just puts that aside. Strange people. A lot of people are strange in this world. This one's stranger than most. And she flies on back to the Wilted Tree Tavern, where she knows her lady is just getting ready to wake up and start her day. And she finds her lady at a table sipping on some coffee. And Cairine looks at her and smiles. And says, "How was your morning, Carii?" Cairine's Naekos, or rather Naekos, she has had her for many, many years. Since the start of this campaign, really. She met her on the streets of Kalrun and formed an instant connection. She's hasn't been presented much in the game, but she's always there. Always with Cairine, always on her shoulder, or on the floor next to her feet, or as a Naekos flying next to her head. She has been a constant companion to Cairine forever. Just as Carii was for me. And she is based on Carii. My cat, who I have had and loved for years. She drove me nuts often, but I loved her. And she has been my best friend always throughout all these years. She has been there since the very beginning of this campaign. For those that don't know, which is probably about everyone who's watching or listening, this actual play stream or podcast is based on an ongoing campaign which began many years ago. I think 2013 or 2014. And I know that means there is a ton of backstory that viewers or listeners have never experienced, and we plan on addressing that soon. But since the very start of this campaign, Carii has been there. When it first began, it was just my best friend, Cyber, and his brother and I getting together at my house, and Carii was right nearby, watching along while we played, and had a lot of laughs as Cyber and his brother did some really crazy things. But somehow, you guys find ways to top even that. And she will continue to be my best friend. I will miss her dearly and deeply forever. She will always have a special place in this campaign, which she has been an honorary part of for all these years. As Carii the Naekos, who will indeed be showing up and be a big part for years to come. She will always have a home in my heart. Goodbye and farewell, Carii. I love you. Now there is one last thing I need to say. I have, through all of this, been mainly talking to you, Elle, about all of this. And Elle, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your support and your being a rock for me through all of this. Even though you have your own personal stuff you're dealing with, you've been there for me through all of this, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that. Thank you, Elle. And now, on with the show. Carii, this one is for you. I dedicate and memorialize this episode to Carii the Kitty. And wrong one.
That's so sweet.
Okay. When we last left our investigators... Rat, Zoe, and Willow brought these three goblins that they had just saved from rather peculiar circumstances. Why were they at a camp, unguarded, tied up, with no one there? Rather peculiar circumstances.
Very peculiar.
They rescued these three goblins and brought them back to Zoe's clinic. And there, something strange happened. As Zoe noticed these strange spiral symbols tattooed or branded on these goblins, and noticed that they all had yellow eyes, which she didn't really think much of at first because yellow is kind of a really common eye color for goblins. Suddenly, one of these three goblins grabbed his scalpel from a nearby table and tried to stab Zoe. Didn't work. Thankfully, it missed. Thankfully, it missed. And then initiative was rolled, and we started our little combat, and that's where Rat got this idea now that he was going to pose a little lie to these goblins.
My way out of it.
He was going to smooth talk his way out of it by claiming that he was the commander of the Yellow King, as these goblins were all chanting, "The Yellow King is coming! The Yellow King is coming!"
Like,
I like to think of it as predicting the future.
wow.
Well, that's exactly what he did. Unbeknownst to him. As they were leaving the clinic to head off to the library to look some stuff up, they met up with this figure, this ashen figure, and draped in yellow cloaks. Excuse me. What was that? Ashen cloaks, yellow cloaks. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. And this figure asked you some really peculiar questions. Like, why did you call yourself the Yellow King's commander? And when you gave him your answer, he just said, "Interesting." And he posed some additional questions to the rest of you, to Zoe and to Willow. And to each one, he just said, "Interesting." Really peculiar. And then he disappeared. And then you three headed off to the library. Well, but still, you were chatting with this noble. Or at least, that's what you thought he was. Turns out, he wasn't much of a noble, was he? Turns out, he was Zolgoth in disguise. And he posed a deal to you, but still, he gave you a deal. Whether you accept it or not, that's up to you. He simply requested that you bring him the puzzle pyramid. And if you bring him the puzzle pyramid, he will grant you all of the missing memories that you have. All of your missing memories. And then he met with Khul-Dra, who he posed his different deal to. What he wanted from Khul-Dra was he wanted you to kill the fellow guardians in your midst, because they are a threat to the Ghola. He tried to convince you that the guardians are a threat to the Golan Empire. But you didn't take that bait, did you?
Laughed in his face.
You basically laughed in his face. As any self-respecting Ghola would. And then you three, Zoe and Willow and Rat, you headed down into the library. I can't remember, what was Ada doing in the midst of all this?
It was I think she and Bastille will. I think it was a ball or something like that, and they had managed to fall asleep and go to kind of like the in between. I think it was like I forgot what it was called, but it was between kind of like the real world and the dream world. And Ada had seen like a kaiju of sorts before going right back into that kind of sleep paralysis state.
Yeah.
Bastille was just confused because they don't sleep.
And then, in the midst of this research at the library, Rat, you descend into this sleep as well, and you had some really frightening nightmares. And when you awoken, you found that spiral symbol, which we now know as the yellow sign, tattooed on your chest. It is apparently now canon that you are the commander for the Yellow King. And that's where we will pick up. But first, a little cutscene. As Dark War pulls Lady Fiore aside behind a purple rock. No idea why this rock is purple. It's just purple. It's the Dreamlands. What do you expect? He pulls Lady Fiore behind this purple rock as 3 black hawks fly overhead. What are those? Asks Lady Fiore. Dark War doesn't look at her and continues to just watch the hawks above. Xerxes. Agents and scouts to the Lord of Nightmares. The real question is, why they're in the dreamscape? Could the war be starting back up? Lady Fiore gasps in surprise. Sorn? What war? She asks. Again, he doesn't look at her, he just is constantly monitoring those hawks. Those Xerxes. There is a constant struggle over dreamers between the Lords of Dreams and Nightmares. The more dreamers either has... the more dreamers either has in their realm, the more power they have. My job is to maintain a balance between the two realms. Many ages ago, there was a war between the Dreamscape and Nightmare Realm. This had dire consequences on the waking world. I believe you called the event in your world the First Dark War. Says Dark War, as he looks around to ensure that the Xerxes are gone. Then he motions for her to follow him. I will need to leave you somewhere safe. I know someone who will be willing to help you. Dawn, the Angel of Awakening. Some from your world once helped them. I will bring you to them. I must scope out the Nightmare Realm. I must uncover why Sorn's agents are here. I'll return for you as soon as I am able. Lady Fiore looks at him in surprise. Dawn? The tribunal spoke of them in their reports. I thought they died, she says, and Darkworld just looks at her really weirdly. What does died mean? And then we pick back up with... let's see. We pick back up with Soma and Khul-Dra and Crystal and Carii. As you see, Kyrene's Dioko lands on the table next to Lorena and is sniffing at Lorena. And Carii just gives her Nyoko a little pat. And let's see here. As Carii is saying to Lorena, as Carii is saying to Lorena, trying to calm her down, a book accidentally gets knocked off the table nearby to Soma's feet. What do you do, Soma?
I pick it up, look through it. Is it one of the ones that we've already looked through?
As you lean down to pick it up, you notice that it's actually Lorena's grandfather's manuscript. But one thing catches your eye. The page that it landed on when it fell talks about the Dreamlands. And do you want to read that page?
Yes.
Make an occultism check.
Good at those. Supposedly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Soma's really good at occultism.
Yeah.
And we have a 38. So, with a 38, what you find is that this looks like a ritual of some kind that may be able to create a portal to the Dreamlands. And at the moment, Lorena starts to get up, saying, "Something's drawing me downstairs to the forbidden section." Carii stops her. "Lorena, honey, you're in no shape to be walking around. I think you need to relax," Carii says. Lorena looks defeated and says, "But something is telling me I need to go to the forbidden section. They need what's down there," she says. Carii, with a smile, says, "All right, okay. If it's something they need, how about they go down there? And I'll go with them, okay?" And then she turns to you guys and pulls a card out of her dress pocket. And sorry, things are distracting me here. She pulls a card out of her dress pocket. Typically the forbidden section being, forbidden. She says, as you might surmise, the forbidden section is, forbidden. This grants me special access. There are benefits to staying at Olympus more times than I can count, I suppose. And acting as a diplomat in negotiations with the Disc Elven Empire. I will go with you. I don't know how I think you actually got access to the forbidden section with through the librarian. The librarian let you down there.
It was the forgot her name. What was her name? It was the one chick that helped not Carii. Actually, I think it was Carii. Yeah, she's the one. Because the librarian's like, we don't let access to the forbidden because of this one researcher that lost his marbles. So it was like, so go ask Carii, and we're like, all right.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
Carii let you down there and everything. She used her access card to let you down there, and so Carii nods and points over towards the right. We'll find the elevator going downstairs off in that direction. And at this point, a bright yellow ball, a bright glowing yellow ball that you know is a ghost star. It's the ghost star rider, aka Daphne. It appears and floats over to a book on a nearby bookshelf and disappears into it. And this bookshelf actually happens to be right next to you, Khul-Dra. And as it disappears into it, all of a sudden, seconds later, a rabbit wearing a red jacket and a hat hops out of the book. And it checks a chain watch. Oh dear, oh dear. The Penza says, yeah, this is a Penza, which is a rabbit Mystimon, but obviously this is a fictional character. Oh dear, I am very, very, very late. It says as it hops down off the bookshelf right next to you, Khul-Dra, and it starts hopping in the direction of the elevator. And Carii says, no, Crystal says, seems Daphne is up to her old tricks again, bringing fairy tale characters back to life, says Crystal. She's done it with at the Wayfinder Tower a few times. Drives me nuts, but this one's adorable. Jack the Penza, I do believe. My mom used to read me those stories a ton when I was a little girl. If you lose your way down there, just follow the Penza on the red jacket. I think Daphne is trying to lead you to wherever you're trying to, whatever you're trying to find down there. Just make sure it doesn't touch anything. Jack the Penza tends to be clumsy in the stories.
Soma looks up and up and up at Khul-Dra and says, I guess we follow the right white rabbit.
You go ahead. I will follow, as I would be worried I would crush it.
So,
Zeal races off after the rabbit.
And so does Carii the Naekos, flying above. As it does. And just as you turn to go to the elevator, the manuscript falls off the table once again. This time just in front of Crystal, as she appears to have bumped it by mistake. And she leans down to pick it up, and her eyes immediately fall on one entry. You know, it's almost as though something is opening this manuscript to the exact pages you need. Bit of a coincidence. Or is it?
Must be nice.
And she leans down to pick it up, and her eyes immediately fall on one entry. She reads the entry, and she then hurriedly pulls another journal out of her pocket, comparing notes. It appears, by the gods, he was right. Can't believe I never saw it before, she says to no one in particular. She turns to Carii. Carii, have you ever heard of a woman by the name of Laurie Torwind? Or have you ever seen this woman before? And she shows this photograph from the journal that she had in her pocket. And it shows a darker-skinned woman with white curly hair, looking to be in her 70s or even 80s. And Carii looks at the photo closely. Laurie Torwind, you say? No, I can't. Wait, this photo is recent? How? I have seen her before. But that can't be possible. In this photo, she looks just as old as the day I saw her, Carii says, perplexed. Which was when? Asks Crystal. Carii collapses in a chair nearby, as her head seems to be spinning at this point, and you see Carii the Naekos kind of just stop there in midair, and it turns back. When I was 13, the day my father died, Carii looks up at Crystal. Crystal, who is this woman? Carii says as she hands the photo back to her. Crystal takes it and looks long at it. That's exactly what I would like to know. She's a benefactor for the society. I always wondered where she gets all the money she donates to us. Now I have even more questions. I think Madame Mayo was right. I think there is more to this woman, and I brush it off. I'm such an idiot. Everyone else, Khul-Dra and Soma, as you take a look at this photo, you realize that she looks familiar to you too, but you can't place where or when you saw her.
Could I make any sort of check for such, or?
You could try. You could certainly try.
What would you like me to roll?
Just make a... Just roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier. Actually, wisdom modifier. That's not typically Pathfinder rules, but that's what I do for, trying to recall general memory like this.
All right. We'll see how this goes.
I would like to try the same.
20 plus 3.
Ooh.
And we have 14 for both.
14's across the board.
Yeah, you really cannot place where you have seen her before. You have no idea. Crystal shows Kyrene Dr. Gray's journal. Then she shows it to the rest of you. And on the page is a photograph taken decades ago of what looks like a cave painting. And in the cave painting is a woman who looks remarkably like the woman from the photo, who Crystal referred to as Laurie Torwind. On the page next to it is a series of strange symbols. Crystal, you're not an idiot. It takes a lot of money to run such an organization. You're not an idiot for taking it from wherever you could, nor are you an idiot for wanting to see the best in people, even if they are not who they say they are, says Kyrene. And Soma, as you take a closer look at the photo, suddenly the whole room disappears around you into ashes and blackness. You can see nothing around you. It's pitch black. As you hear a woman laughing in the distance. Then all of a sudden you find yourself in the middle of the streets of Evergreen City. Rain is pouring. And I mean pouring. The skies are gray with dark clouds. You feel soaked to the bone. And before you, Zolgoth lies dead on the ground. But as you look further down the road, all of your party is lying on the ground unconscious as well. Zoe, Rat, Willow, Bastille, everyone. They're all unconscious. And standing there before you, standing there looking back at you, is this very woman. And she has a very creepy grin on her face. A dark look in her eyes. In fact, as you look closer, her eyes are pitch black. Then as you glance up, you see writhing tentacles and a squid-looking face coming down out of the clouds. And finally, as purple lightning bolts flash across the sky, you're suddenly back here in this library, staring at this photo with this very disturbing feeling that there's something dark about this woman. And as you look up at Carii, you can tell she just had the same vision. As she's looking right back at you with a knowing look.
Crystal, who is she? Or who do you think she is?
I would certainly like to know that. I'm going to do a little research myself later. I'll see to Lorena while you go downstairs. So do you all head towards the elevator now?
Yes.
Indeed.
As you're heading towards the elevator, Carii pulls you aside, Soma, for a quick second. She says, I felt from that vision, and I wonder if you got the same sense. That Zolgoth cannot die. That if he dies, it will set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped.
I think that might be true. There's something else about him. Did we tell Carii what happened in the like city underground?
I'm not sure you have. But actually, I think you did. At one point, I think you did actually let her know that you are a guardian. You're the guardian of wind. So she is aware that you're the guardian of wind.
If you remember what Bastille found in Corbett's diaries, he still has a connection to Kairos. And
yes, his long lost lover.
There's still something there. I don't know that he's redeemable. I'm not going to say that, but there's a human connection that there's something that we might be able to use there. I don't know what it is yet.
Yes. But perhaps you're right. So, shall we? She leads you to this elevator, and she uses her access card, and the elevator doors slide open, and you walk on in. And she presses a button, and down the elevator goes. It seems like it kind of feels like an eternity. You have no idea how far down this forbidden section is. But finally it stops.
While we're going, I'm going to give Khul-Dra a pressy of the of the vision.
Okay. And what is Khul-Dra's response to that?
I think he'll just nod in acknowledgement. He doesn't really have much to add. Was Carii trying to keep the conversation regarding Zolgoth not needing to die secret? Or would that have been something that Khul-Dra could overhear and respond to?
You know what? Make me a perception check.
My guess is she's definitely trying to keep it secret from Crystal for the time being, because Crystal will 100% fly off the handle.
35.
35. Yeah, you did overhear it.
Okay. And did he experience the same vision or no?
No.
Okay. So he will just kind of slowly lower his head down, like, not between both of them, but just over them. Be like, and what is it we're talking about regarding him?
Kyrie is like, I'll let you take that one, Soma.
We trot over to the elevator, have the rest of this conversation in the elevator. And Kyrene thinks that Zolgoth has to be kept alive in order for whatever this is to not happen. We need to find out who that woman is. I hope Crystal can find something, but Zolgoth, something is very, very wrong with him, but at the same time, he has these
Very wrong,
he has
she says.
people he's loved in the past. Beyond, of course, his terrible sense of color matching. We've already gone over. Not going to get any further into that. But this Kairos, I want to find out more about her and who.
Well, before you go attempting to defend him too much, know that he attempted to hire me just really honestly 10 minutes ago, give or take, to murder all of the Guardians, yourself included.
That's fully tracks. Are you going to do it? This is to be a good place for it. You're very large.
Yes, I would simply have to jump and this elevator would come crashing down, and I'm not sure either of you would survive.
But
no.
sure I would survive.
But no, I did not have intentions to.
That is good to know. I want to be very clear. He's an awful, awful, awful man. Just horrible. Just horrible. And that is an understatement. What I am saying is that he has a human connection, and the human connection can be used. I was able
Love
to
is a
startle him.
powerful force, says Kyrene.
Do you know that these visions are truthful in nature?
I don't.
Because I would also posit the possibility that they are visions created by Zolgoth in order so that the gloves are on when trying to handle it.
Kyrene says, I don't think so. When these visions occur, I see them as well, and I feel a familial connection with them. Soma's patron as a witch happens to be the spirit of my mother.
It's all very Freudian.
That's weird.
Yeah, interesting coincidence, even though I don't really believe in those. And you see Carii the Nyoko just gently land on Kyrene's head and just starts purring. And Kyrene looks up at her.
Understand now, Seth, that I'm not going to be able to imagine half of these conversations with Kyrene without imagining a small winged cat on her shoulder, just like licking her temple constantly. This is what a friend of mine, what a friend of mine's cat does on like 60% of our Zoom calls. Just sits on her lap and watches her face. She's like, "There's nothing I can do about this. I'm trapped. What am I gonna do? Put him
That's
off
adorable.
me? I'm not a monster."
So my cat will do similar, where it will use the back of the like top of the chair, and then the rest of them will be on top of my head, and I'm just like, come on, Nugget. I can't move now. If I move, you'll fall.
Carii did the same thing. She
Oh,
loved to
buddies.
hang out on my shoulder. So, as
Anyways.
you finally come down to the forbidden section, Kyrene leads you through the many shelves, following Jack the Penza, and she says, "Daphne is quite a colorful character, indeed. Much more so than her lich counterpart was," says Kyrene, with a smile. "I too have fond memories of this character. My father read me those stories as well as a kid." But then Kyrene's expression changes when suddenly you happen upon a large tapestry lit by the light of two magical torches. These torches have like a greenish glow to them on either side. Bluish green. And Kyrene says, "Oh dear. Perhaps I should have come down here once or twice. This is quite interesting indeed." She scans over the tapestry and says, "Very interesting." It starts to explain some things I had some questions about, specifically in regards to the Guardians. And as she looks over the tapestry, she says, "Now this explains everything. Specifically, this is a story of an ancient elven origin. Perhaps tracing back to the Altarans, back to Azari. We should probably have to travel there for a bit more context, but this tells a very old tale of someone they call the Traveler." And give me one quick second. There we go. Of someone they call the Traveler. If I'm reading this correctly, who they call the Traveler may in fact be the first chosen one from the prophecy. It is said in the prophecy, the Traveler. It is said in the prophecy that one will be born with the power to command all 7 colors of Mystia, as well as the rainbow color. The power to command space and time, she continues. And she starts to tell you the story, the story of the legend of the Traveler and the Guardians of the Balance. This legend dates back to ancient times in Olympus, ages ago, after a massive cataclysm wrecked the world and left the survivors struggling to find their way. To survive, a lonely traveler with a party of several Mystimon partners arrived on the shores of Olympus. The survivors were amazed at the traveler's ability to command Mystimon. They had never thought such a thing as possible. But the traveler assured them that they too could command Mystimon, and that they could use the help of Mystimon to rebuild their civilization. And so he taught them how they too could command Mystimon. he taught them the art of imprinting Mystimon and how to then summon them and to command them. And with the help of their new Mystimon partners, they rebuilt their civilization, bigger and better than before. He then taught them the art of Mystia casting, how to use the energy of the world around them and within them to bend the elements to their will of spirit, darkness, light, wind, fire, water, ice, lightning, and earth. But he feared this power could be used for great evil. And so he chose 9 heroes, and he taught them the greatest power of all, how to tap directly into the flow itself. And he bestowed on these 9 heroes a great title and great responsibility. They would be called the Druids, the Guardians of the Balance. It would be up to them to ensure that the Traveler's gifts never be used for evil and to protect the balance of all things. But then it came time for the Traveler to depart. He did not leave them alone, however, for he called upon his greatest Mystimon partner, the rainbow-feathered serpent that he called Quetzalcoatl, with whom he commanded to stay and to look over the people for all of time. And he made them a promise that one day he would return to them and to his dearest partner. It is said in Olympian myth that the soul of the Traveler is reincarnated at specific points in time, along with the souls of each of the 9 guardians. That the guardians reincarnate at a time coinciding with the return of the Traveler to protect and save the world from great darkness. And to this day, Quetzalcoatl awaits the return of its dearest friend. And she tells you this story, and she says, so the Guardians do in fact reincarnate. That was a question that I had, because you see, Ira in fact posed this very question for me, a paradox if you will. Because she is the Guardian of Frost. However, there already was a Guardian of Frost in our very lifetime. Or mine at least. Zolgoth already killed them in the past, many years ago. But then just after that, Ira was born, and she's the new Guardian of Frost. Meaning Zolgoth's efforts to eliminate the Guardians are in folly. The best he can do is slow them down. She then scans closer to the bottom. How interesting. Soma, it would seem the powers that you have now as the Guardian of Wind, and Ira and Kwoi and Crystal as well, is only the fraction of your true power. It says here that the Traveler set up a series of trials called the Sacred Guardian of Trials. And should you complete them, you will unlock the rest of your power. However, I couldn't tell you where to even start. Is that part of the legend? Tiered list is gone. See here, the tapestry's corner here is worn away or destroyed. We should go to Izari. Izari is this island north of somewhere of the Quadriga Islands. Not many people go there. As it tends to be surrounded by a storm. Perhaps there we can find the rest of the legend. But as she looks closer... Let's see. As she looks closer... something else catches her eye. How strange. Hey, Soma, take a look at this. And she motions to you too, Khul-Dra. And she says, is that what I think it is? She says as she points to this spot in the cave, this spot on the tapestry that looks like the cave drawing of what looks like a wyvern-style dragon. And could you make me an Arcana check?
Yep.
21, 24. So, Khul-Dra, you know that there are only 10 Mystimon in the whole world that could be. The Dragon Lords. Which once you confirm this, do you confirm this to her?
Yeah. Dude, Soma, do you need a moment to go off about a specific Dragon Lord?
Soma gasps.
So, she stands back. Could you... So, could they be connected to the story of the Guardians and the Traveler after all? Could the Dragon Lords be connected?
Knew it.
I mean, doesn't it seem a little odd? Kauai's connection with Gaius and Iris' connection with Freslor. Doesn't that seem a little odd?
And my connection with Croson. Sorry. It took me that long to find the name in my notes.
Croson's...
I've got a connection I know of.
Croson's the Dragon Lord of Death, Soma.
He just keeps showing up everywhere.
It's just if you listen to the scholars at any of the universities, almost all of them are under the impression that to imprint a legendary or mythical Mystimon is tantamount to impossible. Something about the difference in power. There's this conception that the reason imprinting works is a potential summoner has attained a greater level of power than said Mystimon. The Alpha Doc theory. This is the accepted theory by nearly all researchers. There are those that counter this theory, but they are few but and far between. I don't know what's your take on that theory.
Is she directing this question to a specific one of us?
Yeah, she just asked you, what's your take on the Alpha Dog theory?
I have never tried to control a Mystimon. I prefer to rely on my own skills. So I'm not sure I would have much to provide for such a theory.
Fair enough. And Soma?
Zeal isn't like most other Mystimon. We're not imprinted in the way that others are. And there's no... It certainly wasn't any kind of dominance
Yeah.
play.
It's kind of the same thing with Carii the Nyoko here, and she points to her head.
The way that I've seen, when I've seen Mystimon trainers, summoners, who are very skilled at working with their Mystimon, it seems less of some kind of domination and more of a partnership and a collaboration and an understanding.
Yes.
I can't imagine that any relationship like that begins with
Domination or greater power.
yeah, begins with a show of force.
Yeah. I have a different theory. What if the reason all attempts to imprint a Dragonlord in the past have failed, and there have been some that have attempted it in the years since they awoke again? Most to their death, I assure you. Especially those that they tried to imprint Croson. He doesn't take too kindly to that. But what if the reason these attempts have failed is because, now stay with me on this, there's a special connection specifically between the Dragonlords and the Guardians. Think of it. Gaius is the Dragonlord of Earth, and Kwoi is the Guardian of Earth. And Freslor is the Dragonlord of Frost, and Ira is the Guardian of Frost. And they both have this special connection with these respective Dragonlords. You've seen that special gem amulet around Ira's neck, right, Soma?
Mm-hmm.
Kwoi doesn't need anything of the sort to call on Gaius. Of course, it could just be unique to Kwoi because of her special abilities. But what if Ira doesn't really need it either for Freslor? Because they have imprinted these Dragonlords. It could mean, perhaps, Soma, you could imprint the Dragonlord of Wind, Galaclone. And perhaps Crystal could finally tame the rage of the Dragonlord of Flame, Flamdrone. Maybe that's even part of the test, the Sacred Guardian Trials. Look here, she says. She points to this larger dragon-like creature at the top of the tapestry, which is emanating rainbow colors. What if Draclone and Dravane are not the true fusion forms of the Dragonlords, but in fact the rainbow serpent, this Quetzalcoatl? This may even explain the wrath of the Dragonlords every time they awaken. Perhaps it's sadness or longing for their friend to return, and mayhap explain why they have not yet gone back into hibernation. Because the arrival of the Guardians now means the return of the Traveler is close at hand. And as she's going through all of that, and as you're kind of having this discussion with her, we flash to over the ranch back in Almana. And Freslor is fighting this large creature somewhere over the skies over the ranch. And at first the camera doesn't get a good glimpse of its opponent. It's just this big, large shadow that's seen. But as Freslor rears back and unleashes a blast of frost and ice, which hits its opponent head on, we zoom in on the creature as it roars in response, and we see 3 serpentine heads, jet black in color, with bat-like wings. It's another manifestation of Hydra. Purple lightning bolts flash through the sky as the clouds turn dark and gray. Rain starts pouring as Freslor roars as it unleashes an aura of cold and freezing the rain and turning it into snow and hail. Hydra unleashes bolts of purple lightning, striking Freslor across the wing, as Freslor comes in and bites it and ripping away flesh, which it spits out and it falls to the ground in blobs of black ink. And Freslor unleashes another blast of frost, which misses barely. And eventually, the camera zooms in on a red dragon emerging from the nearby mountains, unleashing a blast of flame at Hydra, as its attention now focused on Freslor, striking it and causing more pieces of it to fall to the ground in blobs of black ink. Flamdrone roars at Hydra, getting its attention as Freslor unleashes a blast of cold from behind it, striking it. And at last, Hydra freezes solid as Flindrone breathes fire down upon it as it falls to the ground in giant clumps of black ink. But the damage is done. As Freslor is heavily damaged, she roars in approval and thanks to Flindrone as her consciousness starts to wane. She starts flying toward the south, heavily damaged and heavily beat up. And Flindrone flies after and follows her. And Bastille and Ada, you two had an interesting night last night, didn't you? To say the least.
I mean, as soon as he's waking up, he's like, oh, we need to leave. It is a little past time.
And
But we
Ada?
also saw the individual. It was for sure Zolgoth.
Ada? You there?
Zolgoth has killed her. I will avenge you. I'm just gonna lug this dead body around. Nobody mind me. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, the way Bastille sees it, they verified it's Zolgoth. He's verified it with his own 2 eyes. At this point, investigation kinda done, in his opinion. They weren't asked to deal with it. They were just asked to discover the cause. So, like, well, guess I gotta go find Crystal or Carii or someone.
Is Ada alive?
Yes, I am merely just
Zoned out again?
Jeez.
Sorry
Through
about
my
that.
skills as a doctor, I have revived Ada.
No.
There we go. Microphone decided to bug out for a second, but before that, I just zoned the fuck out.
Yeah. That happened. Sorry about that. Had a few log scenes there.
I mean, I
because-
was locked in.
It's really that's another bit of a downside when it comes to me. Like when it comes to long scenes, I don't know when one ends and another begins.
Yeah, sorry.
It's fine.
So what is Ada doing this morning?
Wait, I was about to say she's effectively recovered from that sleep paralysis encounter.
Yeah, it's now about 7 or 8 in the morning for you guys. For Soma and Khul-Dra, it's like several hours ago.
Oh, wait. Then I feel like considering that bloody encounter, now would be as good of a time as ever to try and meet back up with the other one so that she could basically try and recite the information from her own perspective.
While I am fine with beating them up, to be clear, at this time people are usually asleep.
Hmm.
At 7 or 8 in the morning, people are usually asleep.
Oh, you told us we woke up at like 3 to 4 a.m. since that was when we were intending to be up and around. So I thought it was like 3 to 4 a.m.
Yeah, but it's like either way, less human traffic to go through.
Yeah, it's about 7 or 8 in the morning for you guys. So
Okay.
we'll say about 7:30.
Then let us go find the others and inform them that we have solved the mystery of the shadow person.
Sounds like a deal, Basil. Now it just comes to question, where the fuck did they go?
We can do what I often do when we need to find them.
Which
We
is
go back to base and stand in the entry area waiting.
I don't think that would get us anywhere, but at least walk a shot for like half an hour.
Unless, do you know where to find them?
You expect me to have the damn answer to that?
Then it will
I'll
be
do that.
easier if we leave ourselves easy to find for them.
It's like you're asking the one that basically got stuck for damn near months just trying to find you guys at a fucking bar.
Oh, wait. I can find them. Well, it depends on how close or far they are.
You're also talking to the person who got lost in a basement. A basement
Yeah.
she probably shouldn't have been in.
It's like, at least there we actually got something fucking worth a damn.
Yeah.
Is there like an object that Crystal or Carii always carry around with them that's like specific to them?
Yes. Carii always has this pink hair clip in her hair. Crystal is always wearing this locket that she was given by her mother.
Got it. It was Crystal specifically that told them to investigate the shadow people, yes?
I believe so. It was a couple of
Okay.
sessions ago.
Yeah, it was. That's what I was verifying, because Bastille is very literal, and so he would think that the person he needs to specifically report to would be whoever gave him the mission. And therefore, if Crystal carries a locket, he will cast Locate on the locket. So if it happens to be within 500 feet, even as they're walking to the base, he'll know where it is and start heading that direction.
Okay.
Truly no words to Ada, just starts moving.
And not really much else to do but follow suit. Let's just hope that it isn't to play Ace of Spades, otherwise we will be screwed.
And now we're going
to.
to flash back to Zoe, Rat, and Willow.
Oh no, I was having
Yep.
fun.
You
I
were
was
having
having
fun,
fun. I
not
was
even
enjoying
playing?
myself.
Oh my.
I was listening. I was vibing.
You thought you
Yeah.
gotta coast on by?
Yeah.
No,
Ignore the
no,
consequences
no,
of
no,
my
no.
actions.
No.
I don't know,
So,
I'm having a great time. I didn't get stabbed, apparently.
A goblin shows up. Would you like to change it?
the Yellow King is coming! The Yellow King is coming!
It's coming. Stabs.
Stab.
So, Rat, you've got a little off the deep end. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm assuming we're still at the bottom of the forbidden.
Yeah,
things.
you're still
Yeah.
still in the forbidden section, and you still have that stress, and you are still frightened too.
Yep. Should it be frightened one because of Willow's ability? Calm down or whatever. Or was it? Or was I frightened?
Unfortunately, it's going to take a little more than that. Unfortunately, all
I
Willow
think
was
that's
able to
out
do.
Anyway.
Okay, now that
the
was just
most
a
Willow
calm
was
down
able
for
to
a
do
moment.
was calm me down in the moment, but you still have that stress.
Okay, I see.
So-
Alrighty then.
You're going to need a little more. You're probably going to need a little therapy, honestly, after this.
Nah, just need a huge barrel of beer. Drown all his sorrows.
There's a nice sanatorium that we can recommend in Colroon.
What?
Barrel of beer.
It's called Darkon Sanatorium.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know what you're talking about. That's just Texas.
Mm,
How that'll flow.
Okay.
How are you feeling there, friend?
Uh, I feel fine. Just peachy keen. Obviously sweating, shaking. Gives the Fallout a thumbs up.
We should.
Squeaky clean, huh? All of a sudden, you see the ashen figure in the corner.
As we creep along,
do we all see
Zoe
that?
is going to say,
Do we all
can
see?
you remind me why we're down here again?
Well, my three kinsmen wanted to stab you, and they kept on saying the Yellow King. Willow said something about that this spiral it represents the Yellow Kings. So the best idea that I could come up was to come down here and see if we
called the
can
Yellow
research more
Sign.
about this. Oh yeah, thank you. The Yellow Sign, just so we can find out what this thing is, because this doesn't sound like a good thing to happen for the city.
Yeah.
And we started researching. Me and you took a nap, and Willow found out what exactly this thing is.
Yep. And
Ashton.
as he explains that, Rat seems remarkably lucid for the amount of
Yeah.
stress and the for the amount of stress and trauma that he has right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he has his gun sword out. He's been swinging it around while he was explaining. I had nothing.
And Rat, you suddenly see the ashen figure off in the corner behind Zoe.
I am gonna shoot my gun.
Make an attack check.
I know. Willow's right in front of you.
35. You fire your gun and it hits this bookshelf and these books explode.
What was that for?
Just wanted to see if my good old blade works. I haven't used this baby in a while. Just making sure that the mechanics, the scrap, all the wirings, all of it works.
Willow and Zoe, could you make me perception checks?
These books down here are probably hundreds of years old. They don't need damage to be damaged.
All right.
26?
Can I roll a deception check to try to
Sure.
essentially pull the wool over their last thing?
You know what? I'm going to actually do this again. These perception checks are against your deception DC. What is your deception DC?
I can't really.
Should be a 32.
I can't roll anything. No, wait, no, that's wrong. That's for.
Well, my deception.
Willow, just hit the
sorry.
The roll icon under perception on the left side of your character sheet.
Yeah, it says I can't roll because there's no active encounter.
What does it say?
There's no active encounter. Maybe it's because the game is.
No, you're you're hitting the initiative.
Oh, you're looking at initiative, so right above where it says initiative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go. 35. So Willow, you see right through Rat. I mean, let's double check. What is Rat's deception DC?
Yeah, it's
32. 32.
Yeah, 32.
What were they lying about?
35 versus 32. You see right through it.
What were they lying about?
They were trying. Rat's trying to put on this look of calm and stuff, but you could tell he's greatly disturbed, and he's under a lot of stress, to say the least.
Hey, buddy. You seem more stress than usual. Much traveling. I mean, I already know, but I don't think our friend here Zoe knows.
I mean, I mean, everything here is just peachy keen. I mean, nothing happened.
Willow
Are
can
you
see right through it.
Are you
Oh yeah,
still
absolutely. He's still trying to put up with the farce.
trying it through?
And as a side note, if anyone is experiencing traumatic stress of like this, I beg you, seek therapy, seek out a psychiatrist, someone to talk to, and get help for this, because it's definitely a serious thing that should be taken very seriously.
Not fun. Thankfully, I don't have PTSD.
Okay. So, Zoe, you don't really see through that. You kind of believe Rat that you kind of believe that he's okay.
He's not okay. Is Mala just said that he's not okay.
Well, honestly, regardless, we probably shouldn't be firing guns inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want
Probably.
anyone coming down here. We don't want anything
Damaging their books. You know, they're probably already going to charge you for those books you just destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for those. It's all you.
I'm not paying for those. And I didn't damage them.
I'm pretty sure that can come out of my pay. Actually, do we get paid? Do I get paid? I
Yes,
don't think I ever
yes.
got a paycheck.
The way that works actually is we can actually quickly talk about how that works.
Oh.
So you see, go over to the characters tab, and you see the hidden archives folder there. You see on the folder at the very top one, you see this this icon that looks like a piece of paper. You can click that and open that, and go over to the stash tab. So the hidden archives has like a budget of right now 9,000 gold, and any one of you can dip into that budget. And one of you, I think it's Soma, who's kind of keeping track of the budget.
Oh no. I have been carrying around quite a bit of our gold because I grabbed a bunch of gems. I'm looking at Zoe's page. I grabbed a bunch of gems in case I needed to bring someone back from the dead.
Okay, so someone's going to need to do the paperwork and keep track of the budget there.
Neat.
So that's how that works.
Okay.
Basically, since I very so often, as our viewers and listeners could probably tell, I very so often forget to give you loot. That's how I handle that. That 9,000 gold basically represents all of the gold that you probably should have at this point. All of you collectively.
Oh, nice.
So, back to here.
It's like, wait, what now?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the hidden archives can take care of that. I think that'll come out of my paycheck. Anyways, let's
Oops.
We should
should we just
probably
get out of here?
Oops.
get out of here. I'm gonna keep an eye on you.
There's no
Do
need
not-
to, Willow.
You know, as a friend, of course.
Nice of you to see me as a friend already, even though we just met like 3 hours ago. Somewhere around that time. 4 hours. I lost count.
Well, who's keeping track, you know?
Yeah. By the way, nothing happened to Zoe while she napped. She just had a good old snooze.
Nothing happened to
It was
Zoe.
It was a lovely
Okay.
nap.
Yeah, a very lovely nap.
Okay.
We do know more now.
Summoned my 2 Mystimon and slept in a big cat pile.
Yeah.
Great.
We do know more about this. So what do you know about this this symbol or the yellow sign? What can you tell me about it?
Are you asking?
So the yellow
well-
sign is basically a. Give me 1 second here.
It's just like.
Okay, so. So the yellow sign is like. It's very disturbing. The story on that one. Actually, let me pull that up here.
It is when you staying a few feet away.
So, the yellow sign is basically the cults of Hastur are united in their use of the yellow sign. It's this spiral design that allows Hastur to absorb and possess those who gaze upon it. The presence of the yellow sign among a city's graffiti is a forbidden indication that Hastur's attention has been drawn there. The fact that it's now on directly on 4 goblins that we know of now is even more disturbing.
Huh.
What? It could be a problem.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe Mr. Asshole had a reason.
Well, we're no longer PG-13, guys. We reached our second swear. All right,
I forgot
wrap it
his
up.
actual name. Mr. Jerkface, my bad.
Oh, okay. Well, it's better now. We'll cut it out in post for the live broadcast.
Yeah, I'm sure Elle can work on that.
Anyway, so I'm assuming Willow explained all that on the ride back up to the main. Yeah.
As you start back, you actually run right into Soma, Khul-Dra, and Carii. As they're looking at this tapestry on the wall.
Did we hear the gunshot?
Yes.
Absolutely,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, you
That-
did.
that is a lot.
Oh, I was wondering, did we hear the gunshot or were we in the elevator for that?
Yeah, you absolutely heard it.
Khul-Dra's charging, like ready.
Whoa, hold. That was me, buddy. I shot. That was my gun.
What did you shoot at?
I shot at something that I thought was there.
There's nothing wrong at all.
And where is it now?
Crazy.
I don't know. It disappeared.
What was it?
I can't
Did
really tell
Zolgoth
you.
appear?
Don't listen to him.
It could be.
He's not telling the truth.
Am I? He's gonna look to Will and she's like, I have never told a single lie at all. I have told only nothing, the truth, and just the truth.
Only the truth and just the truth, as though you're under oath.
Yeah. Yeah, Khul-Dra squints his eyes, because if anyone could ever say that they hadn't lied, that was the most suspicious way to say it.
I can roll a deception if you want me to.
Yes,
binary.
do it. Roll a deception against Khul-Dra's will DC. What is your will DC, Khul-Dra?
My will is plus 19.
So 29.
Ah,
Yeah, you see right
Fudge.
through him. You see right through him, Khul-Dra.
What did you see?
Well, I saw this ashy looking fella. Gave me quite the heebie jeebies and I shot it.
What, you told me you were just testing out your gun?
Ow. Ow.
Why would he
Oh my
test
God.
his gun in the library?
That's what I said.
That's what you should have been questioning.
Like, what? Like, no joke. Like, why is it that when Elle said that's what I said? I just thought of the friggin' Pinkie Pie ending
Rat-
bit from that one episode of MLP, where she peels open the hole from the closing sketch.
So,
My
Rat,
web of lies.
your gaze kind of scans over to Carii, who's looking at you with a very angry look on her face.
Oh.
You're called Rat, I believe. Rat, please hand me your gun.
Okay. He hands her the Coke pistol.
All of them.
There's no way she knows that the sword is a gun. Ah, well. He gives her the dog slicer.
No more firing guns in the middle of a library.
No.
I feel like we are focusing on the wrong aspect. Who is this ashy figure?
The yellow. No, wait. Has Thor. Eh.
That was in her store.
And it's suddenly, Rat, you just have this urge to say the Yellow King is coming.
Uses all of his willpower to try to fight
Make
it.
a will save with a -2 for each point of stress that you have.
So that's a 4.
So you have 4 stress.
No, because you said a -2 for each stress, and I
no,
have 2. So that's a
I mean,
-4.
so one per point of
Ow.
stress that you have. So
Oh, okay. So that's
-2.
a -2.
Yeah.
Okay.
will save.
Hey, not bad.
30. You managed to stop yourself from saying the Yellow King is coming.
So do I feel any pain or anything like that for resisting?
You see this spiral symbol and the ashen figure kind of flashing in your mind for a second.
You're not gonna get a hold of me, you bastard.
I hate to be the elephant in the room, but who are y'all?
Who are you?
I'm Willow.
How tall is Willow again?
8 feet.
So Willow, for the first time in your life, there's someone taller than you. Probably. As
So-
Khul-Dra looks down, standing at his own like 10 to 12 feet.
And so,
I realize she was that large.
so Kyrene's looking up at Willow, and she says, "I don't think I've ever thought I would see a Wakan in the middle of a library."
And it's the first time for everything.
I do suppose that is true. What does Soma say? seeing this Wakan. What is Soma's reaction?
Soma's just kind of staring up, like first really big eyes, and then her eyes kind of narrow. Because I think Soma, when like there was something in the forest in like
That
way,
chase
way
people
back.
down.
Yeah.
No, not this forest. The forest back on the other continent. Hilltop Valley.
Yeah, Hilltop Valley.
There was like something else in Hilltop Valley that wasn't the like void terror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there was the like creature in, or the entity in the forest here. I'm trying to remember if Soma had the scary interaction with the witch, but there was also something else that she saw. So she's kind of like narrowing her eyes and kind of trying to put the puzzle pieces together as she stares at Willow, up again at this very tall person who's much taller than she is.
Yeah. much taller.
Now, do we know, for those that are just now hearing the name Astur, do we know of the Yellow King, or do we need to roll anything for that?
Make me an occultism check. Or religion.
Right?
Occultism or religion. Falls under either. Okay, so we have 2 occultism checks, 34 from Soma and 31 from Khul-Dra. Yeah, you've heard of Hastur. Hastur is an ancient one or great old one. Though confined to a city on a planet orbiting a faraway star, is nevertheless in the midst of a transformation into a true god. He works toward this feat through his avatar, the Yellow King, which can manifest anywhere in the universe the light from his planet's sun can be seen. The Yellow King appears as a humanoid figure draped in yellow clothing, but there is nothing within the clothes save a shapeless, horrifying presence. Hastur himself is also referred to as he who is not to be named, or simply the unspeakable.
So yeah, I think Cole will just turn to Willow and be like, "Nice meeting you. More
Nice.
pressing matters." Turns
Yes.
back to Rat, staring down at him, squinting his eyes, considering Rat had just tried to lie to him. Astur.
Yeah, Astor. Yeah. You want the full story? The kid that we went off to save out in the woods, we saved them, brought them back. They tried to stab Zoe in the back, and they kept on saying, "The Yellow King is coming, the Yellow King is coming."
Yes, that's true.
And again, I stop you there. Again, you feel this urge to just say, "The Yellow King is coming." Make me a will save with a -2.
I'm actually going to say this time. The Yellow King is coming. The Yellow King is coming. They said it's something like around there, like that type of vigor.
Right, pause on you, Willow and Zoe. Have you two seen apparitions of Hastur?
No.
I have not. I mean,
Although
I saw. I think we saw like a shadowy figure, but it wasn't a star.
Yeah, the ashy figure.
The ashy figure. I saw.
You guys saw the ashy figure, but you don't know if it's Hastor or what. I
We
think only
saw
Rab
Yeah.
might have an idea
Hastor.
that is.
figure.
I mean, Rab might be the only one that knows that it's Hastor, but Zoe and Willow probably not. But I don't know.
I
Yeah,
think.
we saw it once. We didn't
I
see
think.
it just
I
now.
think like Rat tried to ask his name, but he pooped off before he could say it. I don't know much about this ashy figure. It talked to us, but
Oh,
no idea who it is.
got it. So, Rat, you're seeing this ashy figure just around the library?
Yeah. That's why I fired my gun.
Is he with us currently?
Seth?
As you look
He's Hastor
around,
in the room with us right now.
as you look around, Rat, you do see him at the doors of the elevator, and you see him go into the elevator.
No reaction from anyone, I'm assuming.
Is
Nope.
Khul-Dra able to follow where he's staring to like look that way?
Make me a perception check. With a +2, since you're already kind of narrowing in on him.
Hey,
He's probably had to sit down or like lie down. Just keep
31.
31. Yeah.
So yeah, he'll immediately glance back and be like, "What the hell is this guy looking at?
Yeah, you don't see anything there.
What the heck is going on around here?"
yeah.
I assume you saw him outside of the elevator. Like, he's gonna walk over to where he's staring and like start waving his hand, make sure there's nothing invisible, just to be safe.
And so at this point, you see Carii the Nyoko. She kind of yawns and then flies up off of Kyrian's head and then lands on your shoulder, the opposite one of where Zeal is. Where is Zeal, by the way?
Zeal is still following the white rabbit.
Okay. So Zeal has no idea that Carii the Nyoko just hopped on your shoulder.
Yep. And
But
betrayed
now,
Wow.
There will be a lot of sniffing later.
Yeah, Carii the Nyoko sniffs at you and kind of rubs her cheek against your face.
I give her some scritches. Well, we came down here to try and... God, what were we looking for? We were following the rabbit. We need to go find the rabbit. God, there's too many
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, we need to follow Jack the Penza.
so yeah, Carii had wanted to come here for a specific reason as it related to like the Void Gate, the obelisk that's down under the city.
Yeah, the Shadow Gate.
Yeah. Khul-Dra isn't the best at research, so he's just been kind of vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
We're just there to be a muscle.
We're going to take a quick cutscene. As Kwai and Ira are walking through the championship village enjoying the games, suddenly Kwai looks up and sees Gaius flying overhead, roaring. And she drops everything. And she says something is wrong as she starts running. And Ira starts running after her. Eventually, they reach a clearing just outside the city, looking out on a cliff overhang. And that's when she sees it. Isn't that Freslor? Says Ira. Oh my god, something's wrong. She isn't looking too good. Ira is starting to get very worried as Freslor approaches. It seems to be flying kind of wobbly. And she's also followed by Flamdrone. And Ira says, why would Flamdrone be following her? He tends to be territorial, protecting his territory up in the mountains, doesn't he? She says, and Kwoi corrects her. She. Flamdrone's a girl, and I think she's worried about her. She has a heart after all. She says, but Ira isn't paying attention as she approaches the cliffs. Oh my god, she's coming in too hot. She's going to crash, she says. She looks badly injured. Look at her wing. Gods no. Freslor. Tears start to fall from Ira's eyes. Kwoi, go, quickly, get the others. Get Soma, get Crystal. Whoever can help heal her, go now, she says. And Kwoi starts running back into the city. And we flash back to Bastille and Ada. So, but
We're
still,
on the next day. I think we need to catch people up to our day.
yeah. What is Ada doing? Following Bastille?
Pretty much, considering how if she wasn't, she would have likely already been lost.
Yeah, you probably should follow the nearest friend.
Yes.
And Bastille's a friend, right? We think he is.
That you know of.
Yeah, like just closest teammate, rather.
Yeah, he's just following his locate spell to Crystal.
Yep. So, back to everyone down in the forbidden section of the library. You start following Jack the Penza. Is Jack the Penza as basically you've kind of lost him already, but Zeal was already also chasing after Jack the Penza. Why is Zeal chasing after Jack the Penza?
I have to make this joke. Depends on what.
Why is Zeal chasing him down?
I mean, A of all, we were clearly supposed to follow, so that was the instruction that Soma gave him. But B of all, it's a small furry running creature. He's a fox.
So he's hunting Jack the Penza, wanting to hunt him. He wants to eat Jack the Penza?
No.
It's just running. Come on, you've had cats. You know that they sometimes just like these things. The prey drive.
The Zeal's a fox.
Zeal's a fox, and foxes are also carnivores and have prey drive. So he's just chasing for the pure pleasure of running after something.
The pure pleasure of running after a Penza in a red jacket and a hat.
Exactly. Gonna get that hat.
You hear Jack the Penza say, "I am late. I'm so late. I'm so very late." And you finally catch up to him, and you find him just in front of a bookshelf. And he's looking at the bookshelf, and between the bookshelf and his watch, he's like, "I'm very, very, very late. Now, which book is it? Which book is it? Which book is it?" And do you want to make a perception check, as he's scanning through the bookshelf. Or you want to search the bookshelf?
Sure, as Zeal.
As anyone, you finally caught up to him.
Oh, we've all
anyone?
caught up. Okay.
Yeah.
Perception.
Yes. Willow 2. Remember which button it is.
Ew.
Yeah.
31 from Soma, 23 from Rat,
Yeah, okay, like so we've all effectively
20
come back
from
together at
Willow?
the same rendezvous point.
Yeah. We've all rolled. Most of us have rolled low except for the Giga Chad, Silva, and Olga.
and 20 from Willow, 23 from Rat, 32 from Khul-Dra, 32 but still and Ada aren't here.
Oh.
Apparently today's the day of Dolby.
I rolled Kazeta. I was like, wait, what? I guess we are. I didn't think we were, but I'm like, okay.
So, Soma and Khul-Dra. I would say Willow's kind of distracted by Jack the Penza, and Rat, you're distracted by the ashen figure again, passing through a couple of other bookshelves.
Like, is it trying to like do something, or is it just there like ooh?
It doesn't seem to really be doing anything. It's just there. It's just there.
Well, there's a cute thing, aren't you?
You've never seen this before, Willow. You've never seen a Penza wearing a red jacket and hat.
So Willow still thinks it's cute, probably.
Yeah. So, sorry, Seth. Are we able to see what Jack the Penza is looking at?
Yes, as you scan the bookshelf, you find one tome that does not look like any of the others. It looks really out of place. It has this pitch black binding. And it seems much larger than the others, than the other books. A very pitch black binding. It looks like it's made of some kind of leather. You can't really place what kind of leather it is.
Oh, goody. I'm gonna reach out and pull that out, or like before I pull it out, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna say, kind of, sort of in the direction of the Penza, but also kind of in the direction of the air. Thank you, Daphne. And then reach out and pull the book off the shelf.
And as you say that, Jack the Penza nods and hops into a nearby book, and this glowing ball of light comes out and kind of zips around your head and disappears. And
this
as
book was at least tonally similar. Like he's not stuck in some kind of horrible, gruesome history or something.
And as you pull out this tome, you realize, make me an occultism check, Soma. Oh dear, 37. You know exactly what this book is. In fact, that is a critical success. You realize that this book, this tome,
Necronomicon,
looks precisely like like 3 other tomes that you actually have back at the ranch. They're called Mythos Tomes. And this one is called the Mythos Tome of How to Cook Everything. For some very bizarre reason that you don't quite know, for some reason these Mythos Tomes have some really bizarre names.
Would Willow know anything about the tome?
You could try to make an occultism check. Willow, I don't know where, but you could tell me. You could probably tell me where might you have seen one of these Mythos tomes.
I might have seen it in my studies while I was
Maybe
studying.
the Primal Witch. Maybe you saw the Primal Witch with it.
Maybe the Primal Witch might have had that. Yes.
So you now have a fourth Mythos tome. What are you going to do with this?
Oh dear. Well, Daphne led. I'm going to turn to everybody else and just hold it out and say, "This is another Mythos tome. The Daphne led us to it. I think it might have something. It might be able to tell us something about the gates.
What language is it in?
They're not in a language of this world.
Yeah. Specifically, the language is. Let's see if Khul-Dra happens to have it. Khul-Dra does not have it. Does Soma have it?
Is this the one?
Necrylic. There it is. It's Necrylic.
I was going to say, if it is
I was about
Necrylic,
to say, I'm pretty sure I do have it.
Yep, Soma has it.
Yeah, because we had this conversation. Reading them is dangerous. And
yes.
painful.
Very much
From
so.
what I've heard, I've never actually had to read one myself. But if I can speak, I can read the language that they are said to be written in.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can read it.
Yeah. Sorry. You're going to offer language courses. I'll throw my hat in the ring, figuratively.
Can Rat read it? Yep, Rat does not have Necrylic.
No, he asked. No, he asked Soma if she's willing to teach him Necrylic. He wouldn't mind giving the book a go.
What strange work?
Actually, Rat. As you look at the tome, Soma, do you open the tome at all?
Soma hasn't opened the book yet. And I think that
honestly, if Rat tries to get a closer look at it, I think Khul-Dra will intercede his very large hand between Rat and the book.
Oh no, he's not interested at all.
And be like, I'm not sure the one who's currently seeing us should be made aware of what's in this book. So
By
maybe
the way,
we
just
also don't read out loud.
to clarify, Rat didn't walk up or anything. He just waved his hand around and said, like, hey, if Soma would offer language courses, Rat would attempt to read the book.
That's fair. Khul-Dra just wants to get ahead of the situation.
I will say this.
Just want to clarify.
I will say this, Rat. You actually have a feeling like you feel like you might actually be able to read that tome.
Yeah. I knew something like this was going to come up. That's why I was like, nah, Khul-Dra's shutting this down.
Which great script
Look,
word?
it's an evil alien book. Of course, Rat is going to be able to read it now.
Yeah. Because he's going to be able to read it because someone that's in his head wants to be able to read it.
Man, is this the girl? It's like, good job, you're the commander of the Yellow King. Instead of having cool ancient powers, you get to learn how to read. Thanks, Astor.
You know, you win
Thanks.
some, you lose some.
Thanks. Just what I
Hey.
wanted, reading.
It could be worse. Most people who get benefits from the Yellow King go insane. You're gaining more comprehension skills.
As it would turn out, Willow is the only one here trained in mythos. Mythos is a campaign skill that we have, and Willow's the only one here who's actually trained in it.
Bastille is, but he's not around.
Actually, Bastille is not trained in mythos.
I haven't added. Okay, that's because he made an untrained, so I added to Lord skills for untrained.
So,
Do you need to be trained in mythos to read a mythos tome?
no, you do not.
Okay. Because I was reading the wiki page. Here, let me drop it in the chat for everybody. Which just says like make an occultism check. So,
A Rat.
Yes.
Being that this is now the first stage of whatever is happening to you, you are now trained in mythos.
Okay.
la la.
Okay. Instead of getting like cool ancient powers of being a commander, not wanted, FYI, I get to learn how to read.
Oh, don't be such a snob.
No,
Learning to read is an important skill.
Yeah, and you get to be the only. You get to be one of the only gobblers in the world who knows how to read.
Yeah.
Because many gobblers
And
don't.
I was about to say, like, you have successfully passed the Eldritch English class, aka college.
Now he
sure-
hasn't done an examination on everything he's read.
I'm sure there are many college students around the world who can sympathize with that.
Look, as somebody with an advanced degree in English literature, I've read books you people wouldn't believe.
I
they're
can believe
probably-
it. I can
Like, I was
believe
about to
it,
say, like,
El.
I'm not even in college.
You're definitely
I'm not-
very smart.
It's like I'm not even in college. Like, and I know that if I do actually go to college, it's going to be for science.
Neat.
So,
Like I say, I'm a chemistry geek.
what are you going to do with this mythos tome? The mythos
Soma
tome of
has it.
how to cook everything.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated about what this is going to tell us about a door.
Yours is going to
Um,
give you some wonderful recipes.
I guess. Um, I will say, just like depending, because this is a way for us potentially to catch up in time with Bastille and Ada. My suggestion is we take this, we go back to wherever we're staying. Soma is going to try and meditate and see if she can remove her remaining her stress point that has been with her for literally weeks.
If she'd like
and then-
Bastille to read it, Bastille has never
Well,
gotten a
Bastille-
stress point.
Currently, Bastille's in jail right now, as we
No.
speak. Bastille is in jail.
No, he
So-
never went to jail.
Oh, sorry. He's in the process of getting booked while a mysterious kobold noble interrupts him
Yeah.
to.
All
to
right,
claim
that
a
reminds
favor.
me. I forgot. Hey, Bastille, have all my story points. Make that man canon.
We'll give it a minute. We'll wait until near the end of the session, and then if we have 3 to spend.
Listen, I gave you 2 of mine.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, then-
you got it.
Sure.
Because
that's-
I do believe I gave Rat a free story point to start the session with because I
Yeah.
forgot to give him story points. In fact, I yet again forgot to give story points. So everyone, you have a story point.
Yay! So I had 3 to start with. And I
Yes.
gave 2 of them to
You have 3
binary.
now. You have 3 now.
Okay. Ooh. I can do something.
So,
So-
yeah,
And everyone else has 2.
I'll use one, and the 2 that are being lent out to make that's canon the kobold noble.
Yeah.
Well, the Dracula noble, that's the size of a kobold, to be clear.
Okay. So the real one, not Zolgoth in disguise.
Correct. And now Zolgoth has made an eternal enemy of him.
Yes!
For he's become aware that he's being copied
Mimicked.
by this weird circus man. So
And-
far, that's what he's got. He needs more story points before he can become a rival.
Listen,
A rival.
I got you, homie. I got you. I will do everything in my power to make this man strong.
So we're going to have a quick cutscene. Hyokun and Grissian are supposed to be working on planning for their upcoming wedding, but Hyokun is nowhere to be found. Grissian looks all over for him, but then gets a hunch and travels out to a cliff overhang just over Kalrun, along the edge of Mount Hellfire, and that's where she finds him, looking out over the city below. Grissian sighs and says, "It's hard to believe it's been so many years since the day you met him. He was standing just where you are now. He was confused. Evelyn's curse had affected his mind, but the inherent goodness in him was starting to break through, causing a confluence of thoughts in his mind. I still remember the rush of thoughts, both good and evil, I experienced when I cast my spell. But you helped him. You helped him break through all that," Grissian says. And Grissian is this like 20-year-old girl who has like really curly hair, really curly long hair, and Hyokun is about the same age, and he has a short cropped black hair. And Kyokun barely shrugs, and he says, "Yeah, but he's gone now. Hurley seems worth it, doesn't it? Sometimes I think if I had left him alone, maybe he'd still be here. Maybe damned if you do, damned if you don't. I just can't help but think that everything I touch eventually ends up the same way, he says. Rizian comes closer to him. Hyokun, you can't think like that. It was his life to give, and with it he saved the Quartka Islands, perhaps the whole world. Sure, he's gone now, but his sacrifice saved so many people, and those people, all of us, are eternally grateful to Optimum. Says Grissian. If the Dragon Lords had appeared, if the legendary dragons had appeared, who knows where we'd all be now? You know, by all accounts, Draclone and Travaine are at least as powerful as Optimum was, perhaps more. She approaches him and puts an arm around him. He's silent for a long time, and then... I've been having this dream for a long time, this vision or something, I don't know. I wish Mom were here to make sense of it. I keep seeing this symbol, Optimum symbol, but it's different than the one he had on his chest. And I see this battle with this three-headed beast, like the one that attacked the city the other day, but bigger. There's this large creature that's similar to Optimum, but different in some ways. I keep thinking it is Optimum, but in this dream, I run after it, and when it turns to face me, it's not him. It's something else. But there's something familiar all the same. And when I'm attacked, he protects me like Optimum would. That's when I wake up. He shakes his head as he says this. I can't make sense of any of it. Optimum is dead. What's this new creature I keep seeing? And what does it have to do with that three-headed beast? Or even those hidden archives guys? For some reason, I keep seeing them in the mix too. I don't know. I need Mom to make sense of it all. Grissian thinks for a moment. She's in Olympus right now, right? On her campaign stump stuff? And also for the championship games? How about we go there now ourselves? Hyokun looks at her. Don't we have that wedding stuff to deal with? Well, as I turned that to death too. He says. Grissian laughs. Don't say that, honey. We have plenty of time. Come on, let's go see your mother. See what Kyrene's up to. I sure hope that creepy guy with the top hat and terrible fashion sense doesn't show up. She says. What's wrong with his fashion sense? Says Hyokun. Those colors don't go with one another at all. How does one go out? How does he go out in public? I couldn't bear it. She says. And Hyokun looks at her like, why is Chrysalis? Hyokun replies, very bad pun. Grissian punches him in the shoulder. Is this why I'm marrying you? Terrible puns. You're not even a dad yet, she says. Yet? Who said I wanted to be one at all? He says. She punches him in the shoulder again as they start back down the path back to Kalrun. Ow! Marital abuse! Hyokun says. Oh, quit whining. We're not married yet. And it continues on like that all the way back to the city. So, Soma, it seems you have a kindred spirit out there.
Grissian knows what's up.
Yep. She absolutely does. So, do you head out now with this Mythos tome in hand?
Yeah. So what I was suggesting is because the way that you use a Mythos tome is as part of daily preparations.
Yeah.
So like wrap stuff up here, do whatever else we need to do, go back, and then time will spin forward, and eventually we will catch up with Bestial and Ada.
Yeah, sounds good. And That's what happens. You do manage to get the book checked out of the library. The as it turns out, the librarian has absolutely no idea where that tome came from.
That's not
She
scary
doesn't
at all.
recognize it at all.
No.
I mean, honestly, I was
Remember?
gonna suggest we just put it under the guise of one of the other damaged books so that we don't have to return this book to the library.
So what you're saying is, it's a good thing I shot up library.
I'm saying we'll make use of your mistakes.
What I'm hearing is, good job. You shot the books.
Well,
You got a reason to get this for free.
so it sounds like we need to have your ears and eyes checked for huster infection.
Absolute bloody wing nuts, a lot of you.
And as you guys all meet back up with Bastille and Ada, Kwoi rushes to retrieve all of you and begs you to follow her back to the clearing outside the city. Ira needs help. It's Freslor. It's Freslor. She is really panicking.
Okay, then no time to waste. No time to waste. Let's get going. Almost stumbled over my own notes there for a second.
And she's
yeah,
really
we
tugging
follow.
at Soma. She's really tugging at Soma. It's Freslor. She's hurt. She's hurt.
Zoe goes quickly. Soma can't. I mean, Soma's, I guess, good stuff. But
You really tried very hard with
yeah,
Nagpor.
fallen.
You did all you could.
Soma has healing spells, so I'm pretty sure that's why.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, you all rush and follow Kwoi out to this clearing outside the city where Ira is waiting. She is staring intently at the horizon as the shadow of Freslor gets closer and closer. You arrive just as Freslor comes and crashes to the ground, creating this huge dent through the soil. And Ira rushes to her side. Freslor's wing is heavily damaged with burn and singe marks, and blood is pooling from her mouth. And overhead, you can see from drone flying around the city in circles, roaring. And Gaius comes in and lands nearby, unleashing a soothing aura of green and pink petals and spores, doing the best she can to heal her. Zoe, Soma, everyone, what do you do?
Zoe immediately goes up and pulls out her medicine pack, healing kit, whatever the right term for this is, healer's toolkit, and is going to do her megafauna veterinarian thing, and Soma's going to cast healing well.
Okay.
Rat's gonna go up and get his gloves out and is ready to do this, to activate healer's touch.
Oh, nice.
Bastille is going to, because there isn't visibly any threat that caused this, correct?
Not here.
Okay. Bastille is going to cast See Invisibility, since he gets it for free, just to make sure there's nothing unseen that could be a threat.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
Okay.
And we'll if they're affected by any conditions or anything.
Is Freslor affected by any conditions? No. She's just really badly damaged. Really badly injured. And Rat is doing all he can to heal her, and Soma casts healing well. Zoe, what are you doing? Is you're applying your healing to her?
Zoe is just like bandaging. She's pulling out some salves and things because you said she was
Yeah.
you said Freslor was like burned, so like
Yeah.
spreading some salves on the burns and pulling out, some like needle and thread to start doing some stitches of any cuts and things that are maybe left over by the healing well.
Could Hydra Recharge be used to help give other people?
Yes, you could. Hydro Recharge is basically the heal spell for water.
Beyond the existing burns, are there any seemingly lingering effects?
Not that you see.
Okay. Then Khul-Dra will just offer putting bandages at the hard to reach places and things like that, offering aid to the shorter people.
Okay. And as you're doing all of this, at the edge of the city, a crowd is beginning to form with lookers and passersby. Most seem to be pointing at from drone who's flying overhead, and tears are streaming from Ira's eyes as nothing anyone is doing seems to be helping. If Freslor's injuries seem to be just too bad. And Carii arrives just as all of a sudden Freslor disappears in a million bright lights. And Ira screams out, "Freslor!" She is crying. Tears are falling from her eyes. And Crystal's mouth drops as she looks at Carii, who now approaches Ira to calm her. Everyone, make me an Arcana check.
No.
Make me an Arcana check.
Got you, Seth.
24 from Soma.
Is this to identify magic or disciple something?
Ooh.
This is to identify a magical effect, yes. 5 from Rat. Rat, Rat, you honestly totally believe that Freslor just died.
Yeah, he turned to experience points.
Willow has 38. Khul-Dra has 32, but still has 25, and Ada has 34. So
As the
everyone,
knowledge from Hester seeps into your mind, you believe that Freslor has been sent into the world of Tron.
yeah, yes. What binary just said. So everyone but Rat, you all recognize just what exactly happened. As Carii leans down next to Ira and places a hand on her shoulder, and she says, "Listen, Ira, she's not gone. No, she hasn't died. She's alive. She's okay. She will be okay." Everyone but Rat, you recognize just what exactly happened here. As she says this, as Ira looks up at her with watery eyes, and Carii says, "It's true," with a gentle smile. Freslor has simply returned to the flow. She points to the blue gem amulet around Ira's neck. "I suspect you have never truly needed this. You see, in truth, there's only one reason why Freslor could have returned to the flow. She's been imprinted by you. Just the same as Kwoy has imprinted Gaius." She says as she stands Ira up. "She will be okay. In time. She will heal in the flow. Her injuries are bad but not grave like Magvor. and you will be able to summon her at any time. Just give her some time to heal. Close your eyes. Reach out to her life force. You can feel her, can't you? And Ira closes her eyes and does as Carii says, and a moment later, yes, I can feel her. Her life force is weak, but she'll be okay, she says, and she gives Carii a big hug. Thank you, but how? I've always read and heard it would be impossible for anyone to imprint a Dragon Lord. Carii smiles as she looks back at Crystal. And everyone make perception checks.
In this case, might as well.
No! You knocked my dice!
In this case, might as well.
So we have we have 23 from Willow.
There we go.
Ada
That's
just re-rolled hers. We have 33 from Ada on the re-roll from the story point. We have 25 from Bastille, 31 from Khul-Dra, 37 from Soma, 32 from Rat. Everyone sees... everyone but Willow, actually. Everyone but Willow notices Crystal summoning her Gigazard at this point, as her attention is on the raging flame drone above the city. As she summons Gigazard and she hops on its back. And this Gigazard is this four-legged, standard dragon that you're probably all familiar with from usual dragon stories.
Why is Willow looking?
Gigazard is
out of this place.
Gigazard is like a bluish red dragon. And she hops up on it and she flies up to meet Flame Drone. But first, does anyone try to stop her or do anything? Or maybe try to join her or something?
Yeah. Athletics, acrobatics to hop on. To sneak a ride or no?
Okay, yeah. We'll say it's like an acrobatics. Either one, athletics or acrobatics. And does anyone else try to do this?
Crystal, where are you going?
It's Flame Drone. She could burn down the freaking city. I gotta stop her.
Still will join, but he doesn't need to ride. He has Umbro wings, so he'll just follow by flight.
Okay. So, Soma or Zoe, do you try to follow her? Or you try to stop her, even?
Oh, no.
Ma.
Hold on. I'm...
Dealing with this big red dragon up there that could burn down the city of Evergreen City.
Hold on.
Yeah, the tree.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
I was trying to see if dinosaur form had any flying dinosaurs. Because guess what spell I prepared today?
You prepared dinosaur form?
Darn tootin'.
How as far as height goes, less or higher than the size of a mighty oak tree?
Oh, much higher. Much higher. Flame Drone is quite a bit of a ways above the city. But Crystal's very worried about it because she knows Flame Drone. Flame Drone has been known to cause some destruction sometimes.
Well, it's as high as he can get, so he'll figure out the rest afterwards. And
Could
what?
Willow even like fit on the dragon?
So
don't have black jacket.
so rat rat rolls a
8 foot.
31.
I
Oh.
don't know if like 8 foot. What kind could like stealthily jump up onto a dragon?
You want to try to do that? Okay, Willow, make an acrobatics check with a stealth check first. With a stealth
let's
check.
see Bigfoot stealthily get onto this dragon.
Yeah.
So first, make stealth.
Okay.
26 against Crystal's DC perception DC. Crystal sees you, but she doesn't really care. Her attention is on the dragon. Her attention is on the dragon that could burn down the city. So Willow, make an acrobatics check or athletics check. Either one doesn't matter.
Oh,
Willow falls flat on their face. Soma.
That didn't work out.
Soma or Zoe, do you do anything? Ada, do you do anything?
To play quota, play brilliant man, get up on the Hydra's back.
Yeah.
Already on it.
Acrobatics or athletics to try to jump on Gagazard's back.
Maybe Willow could like summon their siphon and try to like toss it onto like the dragon.
23.
Hey,
Ada just misses.
Twilight, do you want a story point? I'll give you my last one.
I still got one of my own. Might as well see what happens on a Weeble.
Okay.
Okay.
How
There you go.
large is
28.
this Gagazard?
Gagazard is a huge creature.
Like, is Khul-Dra gonna cause issues if he tries to ride it?
No.
Okay. if it doesn't seem like it'd be an issue for him to try and get on, he will.
But because basically the creature has to be one size larger than you, and you're large. This is a huge creature, so it is at least one size larger than you.
But it is carrying like 3 other people at this point.
Yeah, and that's what I was
It's
checking.
carrying. Yeah, it's carrying Crystal, Rat, but Rat's small, so he doesn't. He's essentially a like carry-on bag.
If it won't cause issues, Khul-Dra will try and get on. Might as well.
Okay. So Khul-Dra, make it athletics or acrobatics. Go ahead, Soma or Zoe.
Yeah, I have a question. How like far away from where we are now is Flamedrome?
Flamedrome is
what is the amount of time that it will take us to fly there?
Flamedrome is about 100 feet above the city.
Okay, so effectively like 3 rounds tops.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome, love it. Zoe is going to summon Prettyfoot and cast Fly on her.
How long does fly last?
5 minutes.
Okay, so
we leave
if
now.
So goodbye, Zoe.
I mean, we're all leaving. We're all leaving. I'm just assuming we're not going to sit around for another 10 minutes.
Yeah. So is Soma tries to rush up there?
Soma is with Zoe on the Mega Rocks.
Okay.
I don't think that the Gagazard, however huge, can carry 2 more people.
Yeah.
And
So
Khul-Dra.
As you do all of that, Carii continues speaking with Ira, and she says, I have a theory. I have a theory. I think it just takes a special kind of person to imprint a legendary or mythical Mystimon, much less a Dragon Lord. I think most of these creatures, like Phoenix, like Gale, or Kragamoa, or Galadra, or Galadris, I think they're each just waiting for the right person. For the Dragon Lords, I think it gets a little more specific. As she looks up at Crystal and everyone else, doing all you can to calm Khul-Dra down. And at one point, Crystal is going to jump from Gigazard over to Khul-Dra. Does anyone try to stop her?
No, let's be clear. Khul-Dra's goal here was not to calm it down. His goal here was, if they fail, he's ready to leap off and grapple the thing himself. He is ready to try and drag this Dragon Lord to the ground.
Okay.
So she is. Oh, sorry.
Rat, do you try to stop her?
I'm actually going to try to join her on this.
Okay, you're going to try to join her. Infectious enthusiasm. Is Soma, did you actually cast that?
I actually do have that too. I was going to cast that spell for myself.
You cast that too?
Soma's doing this for to basically cheer on Crystal.
Okay.
And people have to watch you though.
In case she needs to make a charisma-based skill check of some kind.
Awesome.
I mean, if Rat's jumping, Khul-Dra's going to too. He's going to think, he doesn't know what they're doing, but he thinks they're grappling it down.
Can you clarify, Binary? Is Khul-Dra, like, is he stanced up ready to throw down?
Oh, he's not necessarily, like, if they don't try and kill it, he's fine with that. But he is stance up ready to try and drag this thing to the ground.
Okay.
Hey.
He is ready to, like, headlock a Dragon Lord and then nosedive the ground with it.
Yes. Soma's absolutely ready to jump off of Prettyfoot, turn into a Tyrannosaurus, and try and clothesline Flame Drone with Khul-Dra to the ground.
Okay, so Rat
making bonnet to the ground.
Okay, so Rat, make me an acrobatics check as you hop over to Khul-Dra along with Crystal and Khul-Dra, you as well.
Can it possibly be athletics or only acrobatics?
Only acrobatics. This is jumping.
1 minute here.
29 from Rat.
In case it improves my odds, I'm going to use my Blast Foot, which allows me to cast Jump, in which... Let's see here, and the duration, allowing the target to jump as described when it takes the leap action. So I can immediately jump 30 feet in any direction without touching the ground, as is.
Yeah, the funny thing is I could use, like, oh, sorry.
Just in case that helps with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I could use my gun to help me jump, but I don't want to shoot the Gigazard.
Yeah.
Okay. So 29 from Khul-Dra.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing that I'm half tempted to just have Ada join in just for the calamity?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and try Ada.
Your character joins
go
in.
ahead and try Ada.
I have no more story points to give out. So
I can't speak for anyone else, but Khul-Dra can at least reduce fall damage. Good luck to everyone else, though.
That's just a acrobatics check, was it?
Yes. Yes.
I'm all out of story points to give. Let's go! Oh no!
25 from Ada.
Oh no!
Our DM's like, this was supposed to be a cool thing where Crystal tames a Dragon Lord, and now 4 people have leaped to it.
Rat and Khul-Dra, you just managed to grasp onto Khul-Dra's tail. it's like wildly snapping at you. It's also snapping at Crystal, who's managed to hop onto its back. And Ada, unfortunately, you fall. And
So,
Gazzard immediately rushes down to catch you, Ada. And so Khul-Dra is snapping and breathing puffs of fire at Khul-Dra, at Brat, who you're kind of like grasped onto its tail, and it's also puffing breaths of fire at Crystal. But and I'm going to give Crystal a +1 circumstance bonus, +1 bonus from each of you aiding her. As well as the +1 bonus from infectious enthusiasm from Soma. As I try to hold my anxiety down from the dog. And eventually, Khul-Dra starts to calm down. And finally, comes down for a landing, along with Gazzard, who did manage to catch Ada before she fell to her death. So, Ada, you're alive, okay?
It's like, what can I say? I was doing it for the big.
yeah.
So eventually Khul-Dra has calmed down and eventually come down for a landing along with Gazzard. And Carii says they're waiting as Crystal hops down from Khul-Dra's back and starts petting it for the Guardians. And to be continued.
Continued.
To be continued. To be continued next time on Mystimon Saga Hidden Archives. If you enjoyed today's show, how about you do us a favor and drop us a like and a comment and maybe consider subscribing. And we all know that Carii would love it if you would join our community of both Pathfinder 2e lovers and Mystimon Saga fans on our Discord and catch our next episode, which will actually be on November 7th for the start of the 2-part Season 11 finale. And I have a special thing that I am going to be ending with here.
And down came the claws, and that, as they say, is that.
I haven't ended yet. Give me a moment. That's okay. Yeah. I am going. So, I thank everyone for your condolences and well wishes. Carii was a very, very special cat, and I will always miss her. Catch us on November 7th for the first part of the 2-part season finale, and we will see you next time.